Hey, what's up, you guys? So I'm here to talk about the time where I almost got this lady fired. I'm not doing that again. I'm gonna leave that how it was because we're real on this channel. And I might break the thing that I jumped off of. Welcome back. I know it's Saturday and not a Friday at 3, but some of you said that you like Saturday at noon, so we're gonna try Saturdays at noon. Don't forget to grab your snacks and grab your wronged a bit because we're gonna be here for the next half hour. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how much I can yabber on. This story dates back to when I was in the 3rd grade. Circa 2006 to 2007, for those of you that are curious. I know what you're thinking, God dang, that's a long time ago. That's what I thought too. I thought I'm getting pretty old, but apparently TikTok thinks I'm under 13 because I just got banned there yesterday for being under 13. What 13-year-old do you know has tattoos like this? I'd like to see them. I was gonna say what 13-year-old you know has stubble like this, and I thought, well, probably most of them, you know, like that's not like a flex yet. But when I do have a stash, I'm gonna be making that comment. But like I said, this story time takes place during a time where I had no stash or tattoos because I was actually below 13, okay? I was in the 3rd grade and I was 9. How old are you in 3rd grade? So I was 8 turning 9. Yeah, this happened when I was 8 years old. I had a strong sense of justice, and this lunch lady was doing me and my friends dirty, so I was gonna do something about it. Since kindergarten, this woman, Bindi, in the lunchroom has just given us hell, okay? She hates her life, therefore we must hate ours. Again, I'm gonna say the same thing that I said about Diana. Why do these women who feel like they have failed in life pick jobs where they're around children who they know they don't like? If you're a miserable person, and you know you're a miserable person, why would you pick a job where you're going to be around the happiest type of being that exists other than a puppy? Kindergartners. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. Why would you pick a job surrounded by the most hopeful people of our population when you've already failed and you know it? And it makes you miserable to be around these people that have yet to fail because they're kids. Why would you pick that job, Bindi? And why are these little hairs floating down in front of me? This is my stage. My mom's probably watching this. Why couldn't you have this much stage presence when you were a little kid in pageants? Because I'm alone in my room, Linda. Yeah, I'm talking to millions of people, but I can't actually see them with my eyes. The only thing I can see is this dog hanging out on this beanbag while I work. I work to justify his lavish lifestyle, like that fancy beanbag. It was supposed to be for me to read in, but no! The dog hijacked it, and now I sit on the floor. But I like floor time. I know what you guys are thinking. Jess, why is the orientation slightly different? That's because I keep moving. But I know what you're really thinking. Jess, why did you want to get Bindi fired, though? This woman just being slightly rude to kids, that doesn't seem like enough of an excuse. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because when you chose that job, and you know that when you're around them, you act like the Grinch, but you still choose that job, not caring that you're going to ruin these kids' days, then I don't like you, and I'm going to try to get you out of there, okay? Because I don't want my little day to be ruined, okay? I want to come down to lunch and recess, the best part of my elementary school day, and enjoy it. I don't want to look at your ugly mug pouting because you failed at life and I haven't yet. Maybe Bindi was the real winner then, in the end, because she could look at me and look at my mom and know exactly what was in store for me in the future, and that was her last laugh. So honestly, Bindi, like, you won. But I'm still gonna tell this story where I got you fired. Bindi, like I said, had been at the school forever. My brother, who's 5 years older than me, he had Bindi as his lunch aide throughout all the time. And that was like her only job. She would be a lunch aide and watch us at recess. That's all I ever saw her do. Maybe she was also a sub. I really don't know. And I think she was probably in her mid 30s at the time, maybe early 30s. But she looked ancient to me. Like, I thought the lady was like late 40s, but turns out she's late 40s now. But then again, every adult over the age of 21 looks 40 to a kid. When you're 8, everybody looks 80, okay? That's all I'm saying. Everyone looks ancient when you're a kid. Like, you could have been alive during the pyramids, for all I know. And this woman, whenever one of my friends forgot something or had a question and they would go up to ask Bindi, they would always get yelled at. They would always get sent back to the table, feeling upset, crying, because Bindi yelled at them, because Bindi was mean, because Bindi told them the time with an attitude instead of just being nice about it. I hate teachers like that. Can't you tell the time? If I could see the clock from where I was in the room, I wouldn't be raising my hand to ask you, teacher with legs who's allowed to walk around the room, but I can't without asking for permission. Can you just tell me that? That's a story for another time, because that was really oddly specific. But maybe Bindi was a sub. I don't know. Thank God she was never subbing in any of my classes, but I only knew her as the lunch lady, okay? The angry, grumpy lunch lady from hell. And she would be mean in little kids' faces, okay? Like, she was the Abby Lee Miller of my elementary school. My breaking point, though, was when my friend Kayla, who was my best friend, went up there and asked her a question, and she came back upset because Bindi was rude. And I said, you know what, Kayla? Don't even worry, girl. Jesse's got this. So I got to set the scene because a good liar always tells the truth. So I have to make this easier for future Jess to not flub up. So I get up from my seat, knowing that Bindi's in a bad mood and a no mood today. And I walk up there And I lie and I say that I dropped my ice cream on the floor. Can I please go back and get another ice cream? Which is not part of the main food groups, which is something that Bindi would not let you do. If you drop your special snack of the day, that's your fault. You don't get a replacement, and especially not for free. On Bindi's dime, who has nothing to do with the school or the finances at all, who is not responsible for that $2 ice cream, doesn't matter. You're still not going to enjoy it. I, Bindi, can ruin a moment of your day. You little foolish child. I can tell you that you can't have an ice cream. Oh my God, it's Christmas. So she's like, you dropped your ice cream? Well, you're just gonna have to be a little bit more careful tomorrow, aren't we, Jessica? And she sent me back to the table. So I go back with a smirk on my face because my plan worked. I trot my little happy feet back to my cafeteria table and I sit down with Kayla and she's like, did she yell at you too? And I'm like, well, she told me no, which is what I wanted. So the moment I get home, I let my mom know that one of the teachers at school had the audacity to tell her kid no. The only woman that's allowed to tell me off is Linda, okay? It didn't matter if I was in the wrong at school. My mom would come up and make the teachers feel like they made a mistake by trying to teach me a lesson. This worked great when the teachers were being unfair, but really not great when they actually had a point and I was being a little shit, because I never learned my lesson. I always got the better of everybody. And that's not, that can make your ego the size of Mars. Mars is pretty big, right? We'll go with Jupiter, okay? I had ego the size of Jupiter. Now it's dimmed down to the size of Saturn. That's my favorite planet. She's the prettiest with all the rings, okay? I love her. But as a kid, my ego was Jupiter. And this time was gonna be no different. My mom, she immediately gets red in the face. She's like, you were told what by the lunch lady? About what? And here's the story that I delivered to my mother, because I know that a good liar always tells the truth. So I'm not really lying. I'm just fudging up the details a little bit. And if I were to get caught, I can say, oh, that's what I meant. I'm a little kid. I have a forgetful, stupid little kid brain. That's what I meant. So this is what I said when my mom asked me, tell me exactly what happened. Yeah, so I dropped my green beans at lunch, and when I went up to ask Bindi if I could replace my vegetables, she told me no. Your lunch aide wouldn't let you replace your vegetables? Oh, hell no. I'm going up to that school tomorrow and I'm gonna do something about it. You don't even worry. Oh, you're gonna come up? I didn't expect that at all. Thank you so much, Mom. Yeah, I'm not letting this slide. That's ridiculous that she's not gonna let you get your vegetables. What's gonna happen if you drop your whole tray? Are you not gonna be allowed to get any of it? And I just remember being like, okay, damn, like, it's just green beans. Like, would she have still reacted this way if I said it was ice cream? Probably, because the premise is you don't say no to my kid. But I'm like, dang, she's getting really worked up about this green bean thing. It wasn't like the chicken sandwich or something. It was just the beans. Maybe this was a bad idea. The very next day, my mom has me get on the bus and go to school like normal, but she says, just watch out for me because you might get pulled down from class when I go to speak to the principal about your lunch lady and her trifling ass. So I get on the bus and I remember thinking, I don't know if I should be nervous or excited. Like, I could get in trouble for this, but knowing my mom, even if they try to say that that never happened, which is probably the angle Bindi's gonna go for because obviously this never happened with the green beans, it was ice cream. I thought even if they try to say like, oh, Linda's kid is lying, that's just gonna make my mom even more mad. Because not only did you not let me get the green beans, but now you're accusing me of lying. Like, that's gonna set her off. So I feel like regardless, I'm gonna win. Because my mom doesn't think I'm lying to her right now. Why would I make this up? So I'm going throughout my day, and the whole time I'm like, yeah, so I think Bindi's gonna get fired. Yeah, Bindi, she's gonna get fired. And kids are like, Jess, what do you mean Bindi's gonna get fired? And I'm like, I'm gonna get Bindi fired. My mom's talking to the principal right now. I'm gonna get Bindi fired. Now, luckily the teacher didn't overhear this. I mean, I was whispering. Like, I'm not stupid. Mrs. Snyder's across the room. I was whispering, babes. I'm telling everybody the tea that, like, I went home and told my mom that what Bindi did or didn't do, and that now she's coming up and making a big stink about it. And literally right on key, like it's a movie, the intercom comes on and they're asking for Jessica because they want me down at the office. And now all the eyes are on me in the room as I stand up and I'm like, yep, told y'all. And I trot out to go get Bindi fired. Bindi girl, I'm so sorry. I'm laughing because I just can't believe that I did this as a kid, because I don't think I'd have the balls or guts to do that in middle school or high school. But elementary me was a different breed of Jess, okay? I wasn't scared of my mom yet. I was still coming into my personality pre-trauma. So pre-trauma Jess was a freaking go-getter. I walked down the hallway and there's a teacher waiting for me to pull me into the office. I think it was what do they call them? Our front desk lady, whatever the title is for that. Secretary. The secretary was waiting for me at the principal's door and she's like, are you Jessica? And I'm like, yeah, that's me, babe. And so she pulls me in. She's like, yeah, okay, this one right here. This is where your mom is waiting. So I go in and there's the principal's desk, right? And Mr. Burns is sitting behind it. And then we have Bindi in a chair to the right and my mom in a chair to the left. I get brought in and I can't remember if they pulled up a chair for me or if I just stood next to my mom. I really don't remember. All I remember is my mom immediately standing up. So, do you want to tell me and my kid to our faces why you wouldn't go let her get green beans? And I'm just like, oh, we're going right into this, aren't we? Like, we're not saying hi or nothing. Mr. Burns then asked me, hey, Jess, so we're just having a conversation with your mom and Bendy about what happened at lunch the other day. And I'm like, oh, yeah? What happened at lunch? And Mr. Burns is like, well, we were hoping that you would tell us about that. Something with the green beans? And I'm like, oh yeah, I dropped my green beans on the floor and Bendy wouldn't let me go get more. And my mom's like, yeah, that's exactly what she told me. Isn't that ridiculous? Da 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 da. And Mr. Burns is like, okay, ma'am. Miss Blank, okay, let's ask Bendy now a few questions. And so he gets my mom to pipe down, turns to Bendy, and he's like, all right, Bendy, what do you remember? Sorry for the change in orientation. My camera died, and this is the only way I can angle it without it falling forward while it's plugged in, and I have to film now, or my roommate's mom will get back, and then I can't film. So anyway, the principal pacifies my mom, and he looks at Bendy, and he's like, so what do you have to say? And that's when Bendy's like, oh, well, you know what, Mr. Burns, I don't remember this happening. You say I didn't let her get the green beans, and I just don't recall that. I would let her get the green beans if she dropped them. I'm so sorry. Like, I just don't know how this happened. And at this point, I'm 8, and I'm starting to feel kind of bad. Because I've never seen Bendy have emotions. Here she is about to cry because she's in big trouble here over some green beans. I'm like, wait, is she actually gonna get fired? I was hoping that this would get her fired, but I didn't know it would actually work. I'm just a kid. I made this all up. And my mom's here and she's mad, real mad. So I can't come clean now or I'm getting cooked when I get home because then I would have embarrassed her in front of all these people. Are you kidding? I gotta sell this lie. So Mr. Burns then looks back at me. Are you sure that this is what happened, Jess? Or you're not leaving out any details? And I'm just like, this is what happened, Mr. Burns. Like, yeah, She wouldn't let me get my green beans. I don't know. My vegetables, yeah, she wouldn't let me get them. And that is not enough for my mom. My mom wants a full confessional. So she's like, no, I know you remember. You just don't want to admit it because you're caught red-handed now, huh? Or green-handed because they're green beans. Anyway, and Mr. Burns is like, all right, that's enough. Bendy has apologized. She said that she'll let Jess grab a fresh cup in the future of green beans. So, like, can we move on with our lives? Mr. Burns had Bendy, like, look at me and my mom both and apologize. And I can't remember much of the apology. It was probably just like, I'm so sorry about the green beans and it won't happen again. Please don't get me fired. I don't know. After that, I was just sent back to class to go about my day. So of course, when I walk in there, all the kids are like, oh my God, Jess, like, what happened? Is she fired? Are you in trouble? Like, give us the details. And I just relayed them everything, how my mom pretty much just yelled at her and Mr. Burns made her apologize and that we all should be allowed to get seconds of our stuff now. And you know what, guys? Whenever somebody needed seconds or dropped something and needed to go get a replacement, like of a fork or something, she said yes without hesitation. In fact, she said yes with a smile. So you're all welcome, because that was me that did that, okay? I almost got that bitch from her job, all right? And now, because of me, we all get to get seconds, even if we didn't drop something, because some kids would totally abuse that. Oh, I dropped my blah, 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 when he didn't even have one in the first place, guys. Oh, I dropped my cookie, when he didn't have a cookie in the first place, because I was sitting right next to him, and there was no cookie. Christopher never had a cookie, all right? Because I know where Chris lived, and they didn't have that kind of cookie money. Now, Chris got cookies whenever he wanted. You're welcome, dude. Sometimes he'd grab more than one. Yeah. Every low-income kid at that table would have a treat. That's all I'm saying. I don't mean to take the credit or nothing. But anyways, that's it for this week. If you guys like Fridays at 3, let me know. Or if you prefer Saturday at noon like we're doing today, let me know because I'm cool with either. Okay, bye!